of Gold as they're just cleaning up house, and this hard point is going to be there. Time to set up Chi-Town because now you gave away the 100 points. You need to stabilize in this next fight.
Even in the deepest of war zones, this Gold Boys just shine the brightest. It's crazy how in every situation they're just ready for it. Even in the most chaotic, they kept their composure. And all you see is a blue kill feed for the Gold side. Look at these deep flanks. Up top, I can just see that it's just not working out for the Assassins because every time they try to turn a corner, turns out there's a pot of Gold teammate waiting right behind you to shoot you down, which is perfect. Now Work actually putting in work, taking down everybody. He's going for a deeper flank, which is why it's working out for the boys. Normally, Gold goes for 2 side pinches, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 1 up top, 1 on the bottom. But so far, the reads have been better for the Assassins. This is a great start, better hold, at least breaking through 50 point eventually. But Boyd and Geen, again, shutting that down.
This is just good movement coming through from the members of Pot of Gold. You can tell that their map control and their sense of awareness for where these spawns are going to be coming through from the members of Chi-Town Assassin. It's what's giving them such a significant edge. And a good use of the Omni movement as well. The members of Pot of Gold, they're really utilizing what Black Ops 6 gives you, that Omni movement. Being able to constantly move around, get into those precarious positions. You can tell it's going to be tough, but never mind. Turn it around. Chi-Town Assassins, they finally show a little bit of life in their roster. And now Pot of Gold, how do you want to retaliate?
Milk Money really assassinated the boy from the other side of the map. That's a great pinch and look over from the AR. He falls short because, well, faster SMGs are going to do that to you, but they're doing their best to at least keep this point as long as they can, which is hard knowing that you have Pot of Gold members flank you from every turn and every corner. There should be 3 deep corridors that they're going around, which I can already see. Ian is probably thinking about it from the back of his mind. Boyd falls, and so does he, and Assassins actually had the read on there. Great pick from Milk Money, who's actually doing dividends for his team. With the AR of all things, normally it's the SMG who has to pick up the slack, and Ian is trying to bring the points back for the boys so at least they don't break through 100 point, which honestly should be inevitable for the Assassins, but they're not out of this yet. 150 to 100. And still, Assassins are holding strong. They're keeping the pressure up. So where the Gold Boys don't know how to break through.
It's the beauty of it all, ladies and gentlemen. The setups are just so much better. For now, I have to see where the members of Pot of Gold are really going to be able to break through on these lines. We're just trying to go in and hold things down there, but it's just not going to be enough. Positions far superior, so members of Pot of Gold still need to get themselves onto this point. Geen does find a double. Boyd comes in strong with the last, and it's going to be a squad wipe, ladies and gentlemen, from the side of Chi-Town Assassins. They're not going to be able to do much as this hard point, I think it's just all but over. I don't see them trying to get back into this.
Well, they haven't reached the 200 point mark yet, I should say, because I also will add on the fact that Assassins, early breaks and rotations doesn't seem to be their forte. So Pot of Gold is always a step ahead whenever they go through. Even Work with the early read, and he still gets turned on smack dab in the middle of the kitchen. There was no way that bro doesn't get cooked in that scenario, and lo and behold, he got cooked. Seeker trying to actually make more time for his boys. 19 and 15 on his side, but the real beamer on their team is Geen. Even though he fell like once or twice, he made up for it time and time and time again. Assassins don't know how to break through yet again. Just when they had perfect holds, Pot of Gold as an even better opportunity, getting high ground and sniping them. But then the wipeout comeback coming in. Milk Money is probably directing traffic for the boys to get the great kills. Geen is still alive and they're still holding strong. Still making their way back in this as Assassins. They're not out of this yet.
Doing things well out here. Let's get the setups. It's going to help the members of Chi-Town Assassin really get themselves back in towards this game. Milk Money coming in strong here. He's going to be able to hold things down with his buddies here. But at the end of the day, I do believe that Pot of Gold, they're not going to be risking anything here. Play for the rotation, stop the members of Chi-Town Assassins from getting into proper spots for this next hard point. Playing it well here, getting the last couple of ticks, and this is perfect. You need to cut off the spawns as quickly as you possibly can. Fade does find the sound, he gets the kill, and this is perfect. These are the openers that you need. Survive here. Fade, as long as he lives, his entire team is going to be able to find this hard point for themselves, and yes, they do. 200 points now on the margin. I do believe, as Pot of Gold, they break it.
Big Dog Secret didn't even have that silence, and he still snuck like a sneaky ninja. Gets shot off, work, didn't stand a chance. But Milk Money, bro, making the deliveries. Milkman, he's just clutching up for his team. He broke through the 30 kill mark. He has the highest bomb in the game, but his team can't seem to live up to his level. Keen on the flank, work falls again. Right back into kitchen. It's a deep flanky fight, and the pool is where people try to run through. It's a wide open area for them to get the picks, and Milk got two. Boy trying to make the comeback for his team. 200-point mark still held on to, and the point still belongs to Assassin's Kitchen. No way. Time for the rotation, baby. Cobra is early, but I think the early break should be with Liquid, who falls. That idea is thrown out the window. This should belong to Pot of Gold, which it does. Ding, ding. Boys, wake up. They're almost at 250. Run to the gym. It's time to work out.
Trying to figure something out here. This is all but over pretty much if they're not careful. The positioning coming through from the members of Pot of Gold is just a little bit too troublesome to try and break into. Milk Money does find one, but it instantly gets traded off. G-Town, they're in full control with all their members just sitting on the hard point at this stage of the game. They have the rotations to go for it. Chufei, he's going to be the one to go in for the equalizers. He's going to be that player who's just a constant thorn on their sides, not allowing the members of Cheat-On Assassins to get into a comfortable spot to try and go in for this retake. But never mind, Milk Money doesn't even need that. Chufei just comes in from the back lines to be that equalizer, to be that X factor in the game changer for their team. And he is just able to hold. But at the end of the day, Cheat-On Assassins, they do get a couple of points for themselves, but that's pretty much it, because now they need to worry about the rotations to this next hard point, because the members of Pot of Gold, they're going to be on top of it.
Of course, Liquid is being cheeky in the middle of it. Chufei with the deep flex as well, but I should say Milk Money. 44 bomb is crazy, and his team can't live up to that same expectation because they're losing their gunfights too consistently for them to do any real damage. Whenever they get the early rotations and the point holds, there's always somebody with a gun at the back of the head. Gun to your head. Give me the point, and they lose it instantly. Boyd with the flank on Cobra. Again, trying to hold the line. He's going for the deep cut. He's got the SMG in hand and gets in for it. Liquid holding the line. I like that. Milk Money's probably real proud of you, Secret. How's the line? Ego Chow is crazy. 206 down. The 200-point mark is broken through. This could be a clutch situation, but the point is still held by Gold Boys. They got this, right? They got this, right? Cobra flank. Cobra clutch. Cobra not. Done and dusted. Map 1, Pot of Gold.
It's not that big of a surprise coming through from,
because we haven't had dealership the whole series, and we're right into it. Dealership for S&D. More fights in tight spaces. You love or hate to see it. Depends on how you look at it. It depends on what your playstyle is. But for Pot of Gold, they don't really do well with the tight spaces. Well, preferably with teams that outplay them in every turn. But Chi-Town Assassins, nah, they seem to be going good. Boyd with the first blood.
Yeah, Pot of Gold in full control. Yeah, they're just rolling things out. Dealership started, and immediately it's already over. Cars yet to be sold, but for the members of Pot of Gold, they're just running away here with the money. It's good. God, this start to dealership is just unheard of, though. When you think about it, like, dealership is one of those maps. Yeah, it has a lot of close proximity fights, but it all just comes down to having those isolated engagements. You're not always going to be able to get those 2v1 scenarios all the time. But this was really well played out by the members of Pot of Gold.
And Pot of Gold are ones who love their 2-2 split pushes, especially in the high-low part of the map. But this isn't the same thing, bro. You got the middle ground to pay attention to. Sometimes people like going there before cutting either A or B, but it's great that Shafway got the great first blood from the boys. Instantly traded by Milk Money. Bro is unstoppable like that. His team got to pick up the slack if they want to make their way back into this.
The flank here coming in from work. He's going to be able to find a good amount of value here from the sidelines. Corner's not cleared here. Cobra. Awareness, buddy. You need to make sure you find these frags. These are open ones that you always should be the ones to get in Pot of Gold. Just keep on pulling the ball in their favor. Cheat-On Assassins, they find a little bit more trades for themselves here because their positioning based upon one another is not as clean as Pot of Gold. You can tell that Pot of Gold, they're constantly taking those 2v1 engagements. Even though this map is a little bit harder to find those 2v1 engagements because of the tight corners that this map has, you're still going to be able to do so much if you play your cards right. As a team, Cheat-On Assassins, they're just dropping in a lot of these scenarios.
A Pot of Gold just keep rolling in every turn. And this is a car dealership. There are a lot of things to roll in. You like your Bentleys, you like your Mercedes. Well, dealership got that for you. And they can buy one after they get this deep push onto A, which nobody's got killed so far, which is better. And just as I say that Shefway trades, Geen is there with the nade. That was great because if that lucky nade wasn't there, that wouldn't work out. Okay. Bomb is down. Great pick from work. We got a 1v2, and all that's left is Geen, and he is a clutch player in his own right. Has to deal with Liquid and Cobra. At least Milk Money isn't there, but it should be doable. Bomb is in hand, rotating to make sure that they don't know where he is because eyeing A. Eager eyes. When you get this, Cobra has the read.
On before the storm, pretty much. There's a good chance that Geen is one of those players that should be the ones to take this one away. I do believe he has a perfect read for it, though. Sound being given away. He hears the footsteps, I do believe. Plans coming through. This is so good. Geen! No! He missed the timing!
Oh, you're a genius. Sneaky
player.
ninja. Oh, the vision. The vision was so there. Bro was gaming. He was definitely leading them to the wrong direction because who needs dead silence when you can use the sound cues to throw off those two team members? But because they held true with their two pinch, he unfortunately couldn't get the pick on Cobra, who was just there a step ahead because he saw the flank off bomb and knew off car was his kill to take. 2-1, so close, yet so far. We're deep in this, and it's time for the assassins to make the attack. I'm sure that was just rough for the boy because he was about to clutch up crazy, that being Ian, but nah. Assassins had a great hold. They're actually doing better than they were previously. Everybody's not dead yet, so how do we go into this next round?
Out around here already, you can see the trades are just simultaneous coming in from either side, 1-for-1 on either end of this. For the members of Pot of Gold, this is a much more passive approach from them. You can tell that they're not really overly engaging in a lot of these fights. It's going to be the first one on the line of contact here on this A side, but to be careful, look at the way that Cheechao and Assassins are playing. They're not really going in for this engagement whatsoever. They're taking their time. They're expecting the hit to come in, and Cobra, he finds the opener. That's Boyd now gone. It's a 2v3. Wait, no, 2v2.
2v2. Secret and Shefway left alive. Cobra and Liquid are the ones who won the previous round, and they look to do the same thing again. Bomb isn't in hand of anybody. It was Milk Money, but he obviously fell. Liquid picks up from his slack. Looking for a plan on A. The same situation. Shefway gets beamed. Wall that's left is Secret to clutch up. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie with the boys, but they definitely know where he is. I don't think he's as sneaky as Geen was previously. He's probably going to try to fight them head on. He's pretty aggressive that way. He's trying to open doors. I'm pretty sure Cobra is going to see that coming. Other guy, Liquid won't have to pinch. Come on, POV. You know the 1v1s over there. Looking for the flank. Liquid throws out the nade. Shots from Secret were not good enough. Another 2v1 won by the Assassins. 2-2.
This is not a position that you want to be in. Not in a spot like this. They lost out on a lot of these very necessary engagements as Pot of Gold. They're struggling quite a bit here, and rightfully so. Cheetah and Assassins, especially when it comes down to S&D, are a different team to be dealt with. And you can tell that Cheetah and Assassins, they don't really play S&D like it's deathmatch. They're playing much more tactically, and that tactical nature is throwing a lot of the plans or forethought that Pot of Gold have for how this round is going to play out.
Secret a bit late on the run, probably hoping for a flank eventually, and I like the idea. It's great that they think that highly of their opponents. Should they even give the opportunity, but it looks like they're just going for a deep pinch on A, which obviously leads to some carnage. Bomb already planted. That's a great pick because so far I think that's the first time the bomb got planted that early. So the defuse is necessary for Assassin in order to win. Shefway falls. Work with the flank, 2v3. Work trying to play dip and dodge, and he wins it. Secret's all that's left.
Trying to force this.
Yep. Milk Money was there. And the defuse should be too because they got tons of time, so they're playing disrespect. Hey, behave yourself, young man. Behave yourself. You had it. You just barely had it. You just got a great pitch, but let's not celebrate too soon. You're only halfway to victory. But they're going to turn that disrespect a whole 180 on you if they manage to clutch up.
It's going to be very problematic, but yeah, like Milk Money just had the better read, right? You could tell that the positioning coming through from the members of Cheetown Assassin, they have this map in full and utter control. There's no way you're going to be able to get a proper read on what Cheetown Assassins are trying to do unless the members of Pot of Gold, they have similar strategies in mind.
2-3 in favor of Chi-Town. It's better holds, it's better clean damage, and they're trying to do collateral and throw people off with the nades. Nobody's touched B thus far, and Pot of Gold isn't even going to try and go for that defense. Chefe falls first. Obviously, Milkman is the one with the gunnies and is the one with the bomb looking to plant liquid. Great pick off of Boyd. That's 2 down. Pot of Gold is scrambling everywhere. So far, so good. Trades are there. 2v3. Secret's POV. He's normally the one who flanks. He's got one. All that's left is Cobra.
Gonna need to set this one up in some way, shape, or form, and it's gonna be Pot of Gold, but just instantly turn it around, and that's all that they needed to do, get the equalizer down for themselves as Pot of Gold finally figuring out the overarching strategy the members of Cheetown are trying to implement here. The much more slower play that Cheetown are known for. How do you counteract it? Just ball up together and take those fights. As long as Pot of Gold were able to get these trades off a little bit better up against Cheetown and not really take a lot more of those riskier plays when they are on the defensive end, this should look a lot better for them.
Yeah, the Gold Boys are a step behind, but they're still catching up. It's a rough start. Great nade from Secret. That should land on somebody on the point. No, nobody. That's like actually a good enough smoke, but nobody's there to actually run into it. It's an easy hold. RC cars out, runs right into a wall. Rough. So much for that streak. All right, 4v4. Nobody's down yet. Chefway has bomb, and he gets picked off. 4v2. They always know where they are. Again, easy to pick that up. 1v3. I think Secret's just going to follow right afterwards. Brooks waiting for the deep cut. Opening garage door as an attempt on the read. He can hear probably where he's throwing them nades from. Ring around the rosy from behind. Right onto the van. Right onto the truck. And he falls. High ground. Worked right against you. Chi-Town takes the lead back again.
Yeah, this is just Cheetown in their element. You can tell that all of them are just in that proper zone. As S&D, they're much more favoritized map pick. With that, the setup's good, but then again, the members of Pot of Gold, they're not yet ready to give up. This is a very close series. You can tell that third, fourth, and fifth map will be just as similar. Cheetown, I'm looking to go in for a little bit more of an aggressive play, I do believe. Knowing them, don't want to give this engagement away early. Strong mid-push presence already from the members of Cheetown here. But they're instantly trying to make a turnaround. They're afraid of a lot of the streaks that could be coming through as Milk Money. Oh boy, this could just work out wonders for them if he's able to make this walk all the way deep in.
Milky, a sneaky boy. SMG pinch from Cobra traded by Secret. 3, they just need to make sure they hold this, and them I mean Pot of Gold, and they always lose it off rip because whenever they try to find the next kill, they were standing in a wide open area that the overpass is picked off by the Assassin Boys. Milkman is still with bomb. I don't think he's going to bother to plant. They want to play Destroy No Search. Trauma from the omit match is coming back to them. S&D isn't the strongest on dealership. Chefway throwing them off. Milkman should have this read. Once he sees it, Chefway almost had the kill and traded off instantly by Milk Money. He don't lose those. It's map point for the Assassins. This S&D on dealership clearly must have been their pick.
Absolutely. You can tell that they're playing the map so tactically as well. Very few teams play S&D in this fashion. And in Call of Duty, it's almost close to unheard of unless you're playing at a much more higher tier. But for these under 18 players, Cheetown Assassins have to have the much more tactical nature on their S&Ds because, yeah, it's not the fact that they don't have the gunfight capabilities. They just know how to get into the heads of their opponents just by playing so slow. Because COD as a game being played slow like this, it's very unnatural.
Remember when I said tacticians are probably what assassins are more? It's in the name, too. They don't really like running gunning like that. They prefer running up on their opponents when they least expected. And true friends stab you in the front, but these aren't true friends. These are ops who stab you in the back. Obviously, 2 fall, but actually it's a better pick from Pot of Gold because Boyd was the only one who fell from their side. And Cobra and Liquid, the clutch players who got the 2v1s easy. Don't. Milk is gone. Work is left. It's a 3v1, turned into a 2v1 and cleaned up instantly by Pot of Gold. Still in this. They're fighting for that round 11.
Working things out pretty well. Possibility for comeback is there. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, first to 6. So they're pretty much at map point here for the members of Cheetown Assassins, and they need to be careful of how they tread moving forward. Pot of Gold now back on this defensive side, and this is where they are struggling the most up against Cheetown Assassins because of the much more slower play style. How do you want to counteract this? The trades need to be there, but your positions need to be better as well, because Pot of Gold, their positioning has been a little bit too out in the open, allowing Cheetown Assassin to really have those double up pickups. Okay.
Working to pick off a Shiftway. That's perfect. I think this might be done and dusted off of that great pick. Well, Green and Boyd are still alive, but normally they fall afterwards. There's a trade on Milk Money, which is great for them because that's their ace gone. Boyd running away from the fight, gets the pick off of Cobra. 3v2. We can turn the pace down because the scrambly neutral state has turned down to a low simmer once Secret gets the hold off of B, which never happens. It's a constant A. These kids love their A picks and planting where everybody expects to go. It's the first letter of the alphabet, so you already know. Wicked runs away. Not even with his life. Nobody's there to challenge it, but at least Pot of Gold knows where the bomb is.
It's the beauty of it all, ladies and gentlemen. Pot of Gold in full control. They need to be careful of where they go, but the shots just keep on connecting. A simultaneous double kill. Body shoots come out as well. The dance of friendship between the members of Pot of Gold and Cheetown Assassin, as message has been sent that Pot of Gold, they're not yet ready to give up.
These youngins are fighting back tooth and nail. Never give up, never surrender. That's what their favorite content creators have probably taught them since they were in diapers. This is just how they do this. And Pot of Gold, they just don't know how to quit. That is true. Because we are at round 11. They scored us a round 11, and they need to full send this if they want to go dominant in map 2. Unless Assassins sweep this. Because Assassins will make history and be the first ones on stream, or maybe in the entire tournament, to actually send this to a 1-1 situation. Nades are out. Cobra has bomb.
And knee deep in these positions too. They need to be careful of where they go in for this. Geen, he needs to stay alive for as long as he possibly can. Doors opened out. They have the pincer. The pincer is so gorgeous. Geen does get the opening kill, and this is perfect. Players position. The reverse sweep is a reality. Geen, the Pot of Gold could just be the one to do it as Boyd gets the killer and the finisher. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be Pot of Gold who get this one for themselves. The play is present and the fuse is done. This is what you want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheetown Assassins, they are sent out for them.
Boys and girls, just when you thought they were out, they pulled you back in. Assassins with the early game dominance. Obi-Wan Kenobi impression from the top rope. Map number 3, deep in, attacking side is Pot of Gold, so they're the ones who have to open up the point. And the defenders, because they get early spawns right onto the point, will be the Cheetown Assassins who have to make sure that they do not capture the point. Not crazy trade so far, so it's a pretty calm early game. Nothing to write home about until Boyd and Gin immediately start turning up the heat.
You know, the heat they are, especially with the positions that they're playing for. If we done on this overall setup, says Cheetown Assassin, they're bleeding out lives here. Maybe a little bit too risky from those positions as Cobra. Let's get shut down, but Work points it back. He still has a chance. Liquid in position. Milk Money's going to be able to find out another. As Cobra making a bit of noise, trying to work their way in to these positions, but Secret just constantly being the beamer on the back end of things. Pot of Gold, they're not allowing the members of Cheetown Assassin to get even a single off here.
Milk Money on the offensive. Obviously flanking for his boys. He has the AR in hand. You can tell he's the lead AR of the team. He's a great team player. You don't even have to let him say anything to know that he is a leader on that map, on every map that him and his boys play on. Jeff Way with the deep cut. And Secret should be on this other side, holding it down for his boy. Keen and Boyd are going to be the SMGs, searching for kills and falling eventually because they're running out of windows in open air, which is another reason why people don't like pro players. It's just like you're running into kills. How do you shoot back? You just don't. Work rate pick off a Secret. Chef Boy's still alive at least, but nobody's got a great hold off of A or B. But they're trying to split push to at least get something off. On the point is still Gin though. Good enough, he's still alive.
Position that Milk Money has is going to be an even bigger problem if they're not careful. First pip already going through for the members of Pot of Gold as they're trying to go in for that split. They should be able to do a lot here, but working towards the back. They put a stop to this. This has gone from bad to worse. The members of Pot of Gold, they need to make a run for it here. Get to the B side, at least stop the clock up till the very last crawl. Boyd is going to be able to find one, but that's pretty much it. Done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone is down at Pot of Gold. They lose the first round. Cheetown Assassins, they are relentless. This is why the defensive side of Protocol is just so hard to break into.
So the story should be that Pot of Gold probably wins the next round. But if somehow by some miracle the Assassins actually have a great attacking round to show that they actually practice this map a lot, no complaints, no ifs, no fuss, no buts, then I think this may be a great map for them to hold on to. It'll send a statement to Pot of Gold to get their control even stronger against people who actually know how to play this map. But I just shout out Milk Money for being a great overarching lead AR and holding down for his boys. Even though it was a close game on lives, he made sure that the trades were good enough for his boys to know exactly where to go, directing traffic very well. Flanks are deep, same thing as before, out of the trophies, because you just don't want the nades hitting your dome piece. So I think it's pretty simple. Just wait until somebody gets a good trade and the scramble should start. And it already has. Look at that. Still even on lives though. But the hold is still with the Assassins. They want to make sure that Pot of Gold don't even try getting a good defense.
Let's see what the setups are going to be like here for the members of Cheetown Assassins now, because we need to try and break into these lines. Not looking the cleanest here, but Boyd is just beaming things down here with the AR. Doesn't really find the positions. Liquid instead is going to bring it back down to earth. This is where the play is just present. Liquid with a triple kill. He's going to be able to do a lot. Geen, though, answering back in kind. He does not want to slow down anytime soon. Members of Pot of Gold, they're losing control here. The A side, from the side of Work, they need to clear him out of this position as quickly as they possibly can. The first pip already being given away, but for the members of Cheetown Assassin, they're still up when it comes down to the overall lives, so they're playing the map a lot more better in comparison to the members of Pot of Gold.
It's great how they read that the Assassins aren't even going to try bothering with B early. Like, just straight into the alphabet kind of phase. Just deal with A, follow up with B, and we should be done with this. What they normally do, that being gold, is they have their SMGs, I should say, flank off of B, make sure nobody's there, and just go deal with A so that they can help their team out. The live lead is with Pot of Gold, but that's normally temporary because they're always neck and neck with it. Great picks up for Chef and Secret. Chef already falls with it. Boyd looking for flanks, making sure nobody touches the point at any point in time. Again from the top rope this time. I know who he's looking for. He's looking for Milk Money so that he doesn't do his shenanigans. And he catches him. Milk Money actually got Chefway instead. No. He's still holding the top rope. Immediately gets annoyed and knows where he is. That's who he was looking for. And he gets excited on the point hold. Nobody should be there. The attacking round is even rougher for the Assassins. This next one should be done as well. It could be a 1-1, and it is. Thanks for trying, boys. Defense too strong.
It's just so hard. What do you do? If you have that high ground position, what in the name of God do you do to try and break this? You need to spread your team out, go in from the underside of the tunnel, make your way onto the high ground, clear the high ground first, and then work your way into point. If by a miracle, or even like if you're the unluckiest person in the entire world and you die on the high ground, good luck trying to get yourself back onto that point as an attacker. It's so difficult. But it all really just depends, right? You have to go in for the spawn traps, yeah. That's where the real play has to start.
Spawn traps were crazy too. Liquid already had the early lead. It's great that he's actually looking ahead for his team and playing Overwatch and just running around looking for everybody instead of playing as a team, which normally is the best way to play Call of Duty so that nobody touches the point at all. The only good time where you chase for kills. Then you have to go back and regroup. But the spread isn't there for the boys. Pot of Gold trying to...
Oh, this is bad.
And Speed, Chefway, Beam, Milk Money with 2. Looking for his next one, and Liquid is following suit. The boys are actually waking up here. Assassins are killing it.
And that was a little bit too presumptuous coming in for Shifui. Should have been just the one to wait there, but instead he's just gonna fall. Geen does answer back in kind, does get utilization to the slightest degree, but they need map control. They lost out on a little bit too much here, a bit too early, and this could just cost them. Timing not really in their favor. High ground now present and ready, but they need to get themselves on the point and get that first pip done. This time taken away, 30 seconds left, and any mistakes here made by the members of Pot of Gold will be very heavily punished.
Should be costly too. I don't think we've seen 30 seconds this deep in it where any pips have been taken, and we haven't even broken past the halfway point in terms of lives. 30 down and no 15 has been touched. They're trying their best. Pot of Gold doing what they can, but it got team wiped for their troubles because Milk Money was obviously on the map. So what could you do in that scenario? Beaming everybody in that same sight line that's just handing him kills, and he has an AR in hand. There's no way for you to run or hide or dodge. No window for you to climb through. Gin trying his best to make his way back in this for his boys.
Oh my God,
G from the top row. We beaming with it. 3 streak. Keeping it going, touching B, doing his very best with the 10 seconds he's got, baby. How does he hold this line, and how does he make sure that the assassins don't flank him?
Gonna need to try and survive for as long as he possibly can. Be a massive thorn on the sides of Cheetown Assassin, because as long as he lives, he's gonna draw so much aggro and so much attention, allowing his teammates to come in as cavalry. Ladies and gentlemen, this could just be a probability. Spawn traps already coming through. One player now down. They need to be careful of where they go next. It's gonna be Geen. They hold down the line. Cheetown Assassins just got completely bamboozled in this round. Geen, the hero of the story, being able to find a triple like that with an SMG at that range, he deserves all the praise in the entire world.
Talk about a miracle on protocol. Begin with the SMG playing AR like Milk Money did. Look at that shot off a tank. God heady who? Get off. No mortar is necessary, but bro was definitely shooting bombs and nuking everybody in his sight. But once he got rid of Milk Money and the double tap, from the moment they full capped A and rushed right on to B for the full cap, that was pretty much over. So the best way to play this map is basically cap as fast as you can, because when everybody comes off the spawn, there's nothing you can do. So yeah, miracle. The 1% just happened. Secret gets traded. Again, obviously starting off hot. They're obviously neck and neck, heel to heel with it. Again, he is on fire.
And it's just absolutely untouchable. You can tell. Geen is just gonna keep it rolling one after the other. It's gonna be his entire team in control. And ladies and gentlemen, Pot of Gold, the momentum now rolling in their court. They are not stopping to a single beat here. His positions are perfect, and they're gonna be able to make their way in soon enough. Boyd looking for the kill, and he is gonna be the one to find it instead. The extremities now under full control, but the timing is key. He doesn't really clear out the player towards his left. He didn't spot him. It's going to be costing them just to the slightest of degrees, but for the members of Cheetown Assassin, they need to be the one to get themselves back onto the point. This has gone from bad to worse. His work does work his way in, but he's immediately going to get beamed down by the players who are holding from the sides of the tower. Oh my God, Geen.
We can't see the KD feed, but I'm pretty sure Geen is on like a 7 streak right now. Should have some missile from the sky to send out eventually. They're having a roll run of their life. This is way better than the last 3 rounds that we had, as they're on series point, map point, walking their way right into losers finals. The full cap should be there. Boys, you gotta rush onto this so we can clean this up. Done and dusted. 18 lives to 10. Already they're in single digits. Assassins can't lose any more lives from this point, or else it will be over. 17 lives. Milk Money trying his best to fight for his team. If it falls, Milk Money's still alive. I think when they pick him off, it should be done. There he goes. Boyd has him. Clutch from the man. I think this could be it. We could be seeing the closeout for another 3-0 for Pot of Gold. Aggressive. Secret is there. Trace. Oh, Milk Money rushing to the point. Doesn't want them to touch it. They're still alive in this. Double for Milk Money. Work is there too. How do we clutch this? Nobody's there. They're open-ended. They can actually let the time run out. The defenders to clutch. Milk Money finishes. Oh, no.
Oh, Liquid, but I think they're already done and dusted here. Secret. He's just taking out Geen here, stopping him from going on a rumble. That's all up to the last player, Liquid. Time just ticking away here, but still a chance and opportunity. Liquid is trying to maybe go in for the big play. Does have 50 seconds to play around with, so the end of the day, he could have done something, but the positioning coming in from the members of Pot of Gold is just a